Hey everyone, and welcome to the Stoic Path. You know that feeling, right? The one where you're juggling a dozen different things at once. Your phone is buzzing with new requests. Your calendar looks like a game of Tetris gone horribly wrong, and you're pretty sure you've just agreed to babysit your second cousin's hamster for the weekend? Yeah, that one. It's the feeling of being a human doormat, where everyone gets to wipe their feet on your time and energy, and you're just standing there, smiling politely. Well, what if I told you there's an ancient and kind of badass philosophy that gives you the ultimate secret weapon to fight back? It's not a magic spell, it's not a new productivity app, and it definitely doesn't involve running away to a mountaintop. It's a simple two-letter word: no. And today, we're diving deep into the art of saying no, with the help of some of the most level-headed dudes to ever walk the planet, the Stoics. So, grab a coffee, or a calming tea if that's your vibe, because we're about to reclaim your time, your sanity, and maybe even your weekend. The hidden cost of constant yes. All right, let's get real for a minute. When was the last time you felt truly rested? Not, I slept in on a Saturday rested, but like genuinely rejuvenated and ready to tackle the day. If you're anything like most people, that feeling is a distant memory. Instead, you're probably living in a state of perpetual yes. Think about it. We say yes to helping a colleague with a project that's not even yours. Yes to that social event we secretly dread. Yes to a family obligation that's going to eat up our entire Sunday. And why? Because we're good people, right? We want to be helpful. We don't want to let anyone down. And deep down, we're a little bit afraid of what people will think if we say no. We're scared of being seen as selfish, lazy, or a bad friend. This constant stream of yes is a quiet killer. It's the silent erosion of your well-being. It's the reason you feel stretched thin, like a rubber band about to snap. You start to feel resentful. Resentful towards your boss for piling on the work. Resentful towards your friends for always needing a favor. And worst of all, resentful towards yourself for not being able to just say no. This isn't just a minor inconvenience. This is a one-way ticket to Burnout City. Population: you. Now, let's talk about the sneaky culprits behind this yes habit. There's this thing called FOMO, the fear of missing out. You see all your friends' Instagram stories of a party you weren't invited to, and suddenly you feel a pang of social anxiety. So, the next time someone asks you to do something, even if you're exhausted, you say yes, just in case it's the next big thing. FOMO is a powerful drug, and it keeps us constantly chasing after other people's lives instead of living our own. Then there are the societal pressures. We live in a hustle culture where being busy is a badge of honor. People will actually say things like, "Oh, I'm just so swamped," as if it's a good thing. We've been conditioned to believe that our worth is tied to how much we can accomplish and how much we can do for others. But let me ask you something. Is a frantic, overcommitted life really a successful one? Or is it just frantic? This constant pressure to be everything to everyone is an exhausting, soul-crushing game you can't win. It's like trying to fill a bucket with a hole in it. No matter how much you pour in, it's never enough, and you're just left tired and empty. We're so busy saying yes to everything else that we're unknowingly saying no to the most important things: our rest, our hobbies, our personal growth, our peace of mind. We're giving away our most precious, non-renewable resource, our time, to everyone but ourselves. This isn't a sustainable way to live. So, if you've ever felt this way, take a deep breath. We're about to change the game with a little help from some old friends. Stoicism's ancient wisdom for modern boundaries. Okay, so you're probably thinking, great, I'm a human doormat. What am I supposed to do about it? This is where our ancient Stoic buddies come in. They were living in a world of political chaos, social pressure, and constant external demands, much like we are today. They figured out that the secret to a good life wasn't about controlling the world around them, because you can't, but about controlling their internal world. Take Seneca, for instance. This dude was a total rock star of the Roman Empire, a playwright, a philosopher, and a political advisor. He was constantly surrounded by demands on his time. He wrote in one of his letters, "You live as if you were destined to live forever. Your fragility never enters your thoughts." Ouch. He was basically saying, stop acting like you have an infinite supply of time. He knew that our time is our most valuable asset, and we shouldn't just give it away for free. Then there's Marcus Aurelius, the emperor of Rome and a philosopher king. Talk about a guy with a lot on his plate. He literally ran the entire Roman Empire, and yet he still found the time to write his personal journal, Meditations, which is packed with Stoic wisdom. One of his core ideas was the dichotomy of control. This is the ultimate tool for setting boundaries. He basically said, look, there are two kinds of things in this world. Things you can control and things you can't. Things you can control: your thoughts, your judgments, your actions, your reactions. Things you can't control: other people's opinions, the weather, what your boss decides to do, the traffic, that hamster your cousin asked you to watch. The Stoics taught that the key to a peaceful life is to focus all your energy on the things within your control and to let go of everything else. It's a simple idea, but it's a powerful one. When someone asks you for a favor, you can't control their request, but you can control your response. You can't control their reaction to your no, but you can control your own peace of mind. This isn't about being cold or emotionless. That's a common misconception about Stoicism. It's not about being a robot. It's about intelligently managing your reactions to life's pressures so you don't get swept away by them. The Stoics knew that every yes you give to something you don't want to do is an act of surrendering your internal control. You're giving away your power. By saying no with intention, you're not just declining a request, you're actively asserting your control over your own life. You're saying, my time, my energy, and my well-being are in my hands, not in yours. This is a foundational shift in thinking, and it's the first step to truly reclaiming your life from the clutches of external demands. The art of the intentional no. Now for the fun part, putting this into practice. We've talked about the why, now let's get into the how. The idea of saying no can feel terrifying, but it doesn't have to be. We're not talking about being a jerk. We're talking about being clear, kind, and firm. It's a skill, and like any skill, it takes practice. First off, let's kill the guilt. The guilt is what gets us every time. We feel like we're letting someone down, or that they'll be mad at us. But here's the thing, you can't be everything to everyone. You have a finite amount of time and energy. Saying no isn't selfish. It's an act of self-preservation. It's about being a good steward of your own life, so you can show up as your best self for the people and things that truly matter. So, how do we do it gracefully? Let's start with a few simple techniques. 1. The direct and kind. No. This is the simplest and most effective. No excuses, no long explanations. Just a polite and direct refusal. For example, thank you so much for thinking of me, but I can't take on any new projects right now. Or, I appreciate the invitation, but I won't be able to make it. The key here is to be polite, but firm. Don't leave any wiggle room. 2. The sandwich technique. This is a great one for more delicate situations. You sandwich your no between two slices of kindness. Start with a positive statement, then deliver your no, and finish with another positive statement. For example, I love that you're organizing this event, positive, but I'm completely booked that weekend and won't be able to help out. No, I hope it goes well. Positive. It softens the blow without compromising your boundary. 3. The conditional yes. This is a great one for when you want to help, but on your terms. Instead of an outright no, you offer an alternative that works for you. For example, if a friend asks you to help them move on Saturday, and you can't, you could say, "I can't help you on Saturday, but I'd be happy to come by for an hour on Friday night to help you pack some boxes." This shows you care while still protecting your own time. Now, let's talk about a crucial step that the Stoics would love: identifying your red lines. These are your non-negotiables. What are the things you simply will not compromise on? Maybe it's your morning workout, your weekly date night with your partner, or your dedicated time for a passion project. Whatever they are, write them down. These are your personal boundaries. Once you know what your red lines are, it becomes much easier to say no to anything that crosses them. When a request comes in, you can quickly check it against your list. Does it violate one of your red lines? Then the answer is already no, and you don't even have to think about it. This takes the emotion out of the decision and makes it a simple, logical choice. Remember, saying no is not a one-time event. It's a practice. The more you do it, the easier it gets. The first time will feel a little weird, a little uncomfortable, but each time you do it, you'll feel a tiny rush of liberation. You'll realize that the world doesn't end, people don't hate you, and your sanity remains intact. Reclaiming your time. Practical Stoic exercises. Okay, let's roll up our sleeves and get our hands dirty with some practical Stoic exercises. These aren't just feel-good ideas. They're actionable steps you can take right now to start reclaiming your time. First up, the time audit. This is like a financial audit, but for your life. For the next week, I want you to track every single hour of your day. You can use a notebook, a spreadsheet, or a fancy app, whatever works for you. Just write down what you did and for how long. At the end of the week, look at it. You'll probably be shocked. You'll see where all your time is truly going. Now, look at that audit with a Stoic lens. Identify the energy vampires. These are the activities, people, or obligations that drain you without giving anything back. Maybe it's an hour of mindlessly scrolling through social media, a weekly meeting that accomplishes nothing, or a commitment you agreed to out of obligation. The goal isn't to judge yourself, it's just to see the truth. Once you see the truth, you can make an intentional choice to say no to those energy vampires in the future. Next, we have the premeditation of evils. Don't worry, it's not as dark as it sounds. This is a classic Stoic practice where you mentally prepare for potential challenges. In this context, we're going to apply it to requests. Think about a person or a situation that often puts you on the spot. Maybe it's your boss who always asked you to stay late on Fridays, or a friend who's constantly asking for favors. Mentally rehearse your no in advance. Think about what you'll say, how you'll say it, and what your tone will be. When the actual request comes, you won't be caught off guard. You'll have your response ready, and you'll be able to deliver it with confidence and without hesitation. This is a game changer. Finally, a daily practice, the dichotomy of control exercise. At the start of each day, take a few minutes to sit quietly and think about your to-do list. Go through each item and ask yourself, is this within my control? If it's a task you can do, like finishing a report, then you can give it your full attention. If it's something outside of your control, like whether your boss will like the report, then you need to let it go. You'll notice a lot of your worries and anxieties fall into the not in my control bucket. This exercise trains your mind to focus on what matters and to gracefully let go of what doesn't, freeing up immense amounts of mental and emotional energy. These exercises are your training ground. They're how you build the mental muscle to say no, not just when you're overwhelmed, but as a proactive, daily habit. They help you move from a reactive life to an intentional, deliberate one. A life redefined. The power of prioritized living. So, we've walked through the problem, the ancient wisdom, the practical techniques, and the daily exercises. Now, let's talk about the profound results. What does your life look like when you master the art of the intentional no? You'll have a clarity of mind you've never experienced before. Your calendar won't be a source of stress. It will be a reflection of your priorities. You'll have time for the things that truly matter: your health, your family, your friends, your passions. You won't be running on fumes. You'll have a reserve of energy because you're no longer giving it away to things that don't serve you. Let's be clear, protecting your time isn't selfish. It's a necessary foundation for a meaningful life. You can't pour from an empty cup. By saying no to the non-essential, you're creating space for the essential. You're saying yes to your mental health, your physical well-being, and your purpose. Think about it this way. Every time you say no to a request that doesn't align with your goals, you're saying yes to yourself. You're saying yes to an afternoon of reading a good book. You're saying yes to working on that side hustle you've always dreamed of. You're saying yes to an early night's sleep. This is the Stoic superpower. It's the liberation of knowing that your life is your own. It's the profound peace that comes from living a life on your own terms, not one dictated by the demands and expectations of others. Saying no is not about being antisocial or unhelpful. It's about being fiercely protective of the one life you have. So, I want you to go out there and practice this. Start small. Say no to one tiny, inconsequential thing this week. And when you do, take a moment to savor that feeling of reclaimed power. Because saying no to the noise is the first step to saying yes to the life you're meant to live. Thanks for joining me on the Stoic Path. If this video resonated with you and you're ready to start reclaiming your time, hit that like button to let me know. Drop a comment below with one thing you're going to say no to this week. And of course, subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss our next deep dive into ancient wisdom for modern living. Until next time, stay stoic and start saying no.